Welcome back, Syndicate members. It is I, Joshua Mammoth, back again. Tonight, I'm interviewing a special guest, cosplay queen and a sister from another mister, Sonia Toledo. Welcome.
Hi, thanks Josh for having me. Hi guys.
And thanks for making it out today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. What else is there to do when it's a gloomy day in June, right?
Well, not the laundry, that's for sure. So, so I understand that you've done some cosplay in the past.
I have actually, yes. So it started off as just a random hobby. My son loves comic books, so we ventured into that whole world and industry, and lo and behold, I actually ended up really enjoying becoming these characters, and my son really had a fun time with it too.
So, what are some of the characters that you have done?
So I've done a lot of Wonder Woman. She's my all-time fave. I've done Disney princesses like The Little Mermaid. I've done Black Canary. I've done even some characters from Fortnite.
Oh wait, Black Canary? You done that?
I have, yes.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. I did the classic Black Canary, and a lot of fans really appreciated it. It was during the time that Arrow came out on the TV shows, so you know they were seeing that new version of her, so it was fun.
And so for Wonder Woman, what's the Wonder Woman that you like the most out of all of them? Because we have several.
I do have to say Linda Carter was my favorite growing up, and seeing her, she was just so beautiful and so powerful. I have fallen in love with Gal Gadot and the whole new series of Wonder Woman, so it's been fun to watch her, and it's been fun to see how the new generation of girls are looking up to her.
Actually, I'm glad you said Linda Carter, because my next question was going to be, is that how you put the costume on, is by turning around slowly?
You know, I'm not going to say anything, but I have done a couple twirls into that.
I always thought that was a pretty interesting way, because Superman does it too, but it's like 2 seconds. And
I know.
You know, she like twirls around and.
She's very glamorous.
Yeah, because my favorite Wonder Woman was from the early 2000s Justice League comic.
Right.
I want to say, I don't remember who the artist was, but Grant Morrison was the writer who did the revamp of it.
Right.
And I love that version of Wonder Woman. She was really awesome.
She was awesome. When my son was getting into comics, we actually dabbled in the New 52. And, you know, it wasn't my favorite. I didn't mind it, but I agree that they were great.
Well, first off, because they made her actually look like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
She was strong, tall, and really just as strong as Superman, really. Yeah. We're pretty damn close to it.
Absolutely.
Right? So back to some of the princesses. Let's talk about the Little Mermaid.
Oh, that was such a fun cosplay.
Because I remember you showing me that picture.
Yes. So Ariel, growing up, was the princess to be, and I when I went to go cosplay her, I ran to the fabric store, got these gems and these yards of fabric, and just made her come to life. And all the little girls at conventions were just obsessed.
Were you able to walk around in that?
I was actually, yeah. The skirt portion of it was more of a mermaid train.
Oh, okay.
So I was able to maneuver. It was good.
How did you come up with that idea?
Honestly, wedding dresses.
Oh.
The silhouette of the mermaid train was kind of where I wanted to go with it, rather than the more costume fin.
Right.
You know, I wanted to be able to move around and it not be so costumey, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And so you made that yourself.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Lots of hot glue, lots of burnt fingertips, let me tell you what.
And so you also, since you live in Central Florida as well, you know, you're familiar with a lot of the comic shops around here.
I do, yes. Coliseum, Acme, Lots of good ones around, actually.
Yeah, so I go to Blackbird a lot in Maitland, and then since we moved over here, there's one in Sanford, Comic Central.
Comic Central.
Comic Central.
Yes. Tyson.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a good.
Yeah, so that's
shop,
that. Yeah, that was a pretty cool one. I didn't even know that was over there. We were just driving through one day. I'm like, hey, that's a comic shop.
He asked me to cosplay as Wonder Woman during Wonder Woman Day a couple years back, and that was a lot of fun.
There's a Wonder Woman Day.
Oh, there is.
I need to schedule that day off. So as far as the actual comics, did you used to read a lot of comics in the past?
Honestly, my son, when he started getting into the superhero phase of his, young life, that kind of what was catapulted us to venture into the comic shops and pick a few titles for him. And while we're roaming the aisles, I was like, wow, look at that. Hey, look at this. And it just kind of spawned from there.
Yeah, because it's definitely a very broad spectrum of stuff now. So you can find lots of different titles. That's why I've kind of drifted just mainly into the independents now.
Right.
Because they're really custom made.
Right.
And they're like the heart and soul of these like independent guys and women out there. And actually, some of them are just like one guy doing the whole book.
That's true.
From scripting
and
and drawing.
Actually very impressive.
It is very impressive. Yeah, that's a lot of work that's involved in that. So I remember one time we were talking about comic book subscriptions, and
oh my god, don't get me started. I went into the negative with those subscriptions.
There was one time where I didn't pick up because I generally speaking, I don't like to pick up for like a month, so it kind of builds up a little bit, But when you have like 12 subscriptions,
it gets pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think, what was the biggest one? You'd say 125? Yeah. Yeah, it was about $125, and I had to pay it though.
You don't realize what's happening until you do go to pick up that subscription box, and here you are with all these titles, and you have to pay that.
Well, because I made the mistake too of telling the people at the comic shop, hey, and if you got like spawn off titles,
right?
Branch, if the comic branches off or goes to doing this, put those in there too.
And that's what I've noticed with Florida, and I don't know if this is everywhere. It could very well be, but Florida comic book shops, they are so genuinely eager to go out of their way to introduce new titles to you.
For sure.
And, offer their opinions, feedbacks. And it's always fun when you are getting into comics for the first time and you're not really sure what would be up your alley. Those guys, they really know what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, the title that we're going to review later, that artist, Luis Diaz, that's how I was introduced to Video Witch, because I went into Blackbird and I told Enzo, hey, I'm looking for like an indie title.
Right.
And he was like, hey, this one just hit the shelves.
Yeah.
And yeah,
That's great.
It was amazing. Yeah, for sure. So I could definitely say, they're very eager, and they always have the inside knowledge of what you would want to read.
That's what I appreciated when I first got into reading comics. I was out of my element.
Well, it can be really intimidating.
Sure. Right, it is. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of titles, and there's, years and years of backstories. So getting into it for the first time, kind of scratching your head, like, what?
Yeah. So my black hole was when Marvel reintroduced the Star Wars series, and then I had Star Wars, but then I had all the connecting comics that were related to that. I think there was like a Chewbacca series, a Han Solo series, a Princess Leia series.
Yes.
And it was, but I couldn't say no because it was really good. Like the artwork was awesome.
Right.
And it was classic Star Wars, so it was, Han, Luke, and Leia.
Right.
Doing, adventures in space. But I eventually had to cut it off because it was just becoming it was becoming
another
ridiculous.
Car payment, let's be real.
Yeah. And so with the independents now, I do all my stocking up at one time. Like I'll go to a convention, and I'll go and I'll try to meet like every creator that I can, and I try to pick up at least one title. Sometimes if they have a lot of stuff, I'll try to pick up multiple titles, and I usually spend a couple $100 there just on comics.
Easy, that's easy.
But I can justify that because I don't have subscriptions anymore.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, it's compromise, right?
Yeah. Okay. So you've also read my comics.
I have, which are great. Let me just tell you. So, with my son being into comics and being into a lot of action-packed things, your comics were right what we needed, right up our alley. It was fun. They were good, easy reads, and we really enjoyed them.
Well, my vocabulary requires them to be an easy read, so.
We definitely liked all the punching and the kicking.
Yeah, those are my favorite types. It's just action beat 'em ups.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a lot of story, but just enough humor to make you laugh too.
Yeah, no, we really did enjoy them, and honestly, when you put some new ones out there, we're definitely going to be on that list.
Yeah.
I will be subscribing. So where could we pick those up at? Actually?
Well, my comics, they're always available at MammothSyndicate.com.
Okay.
So you can go to the shop there at MammothSyndicate.com. Or if you're in Maitland, you can go to Blackbird and just ask them. You tell them Joshua Mammoth sent you.
We'll be checking it out for sure. For sure.
Okay, well, did you want to stick around and do a comic book review?
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
Awesome. Okay, well, between the known and the unknown lies the mammoth. We'll see you in a few minutes.